Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls Golden. What if, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back with a brand new what if Deku had a genie quirk. I'll be honest, I can't find the person that suggested this. I literally sat here for the last 10 minutes trying to find it. I don't remember if it was my Discord or if it was in my comment section. So if you suggested this, make sure to comment down below when you see this. Obviously I'm only using aspects, or I always change some stuff up when I see people's suggestions, but the groundwork is definitely made by this person, so hopefully they know who they are and they can comment down below that they suggested this. So yeah, I'm not gonna waste much more of your time. Make sure to go check the links in the description for my boy Saint and also the Discord. And yeah, that's about it. Let's just get right into the what if. Let's get it. Long ago, there was one person, one boy, one child that was born with a quirk that was the first of many to come. But this quirk may be seen by everyone else as a curse. This boy has been living for hundreds of years now. This boy was named Izuku Midoriya. He was immortal, but that wasn't it. He wasn't just immortal, but he was born with a quirk that would, bring to life other people's wishes. It was as if he was in eternal torment of this. For hundreds of years, he would grant people's wishes, and from what he knows is that this was his sole purpose, his life's goal. But until one day he met a young child, a child that was, very kind to him, and the child used one of his wishes for Izuku, not to free him of this torment because, that wasn't possible. He could not be wished out of this. Izuku waited for the wish to happen, and the boy spoke. The boy said that his wish was to know how Izuku would get out of the situation of being everyone's personal genie. And after that occurred, Izuku finally knew. The boy told him that he has to, grant the wishes of, millions of people. Actually, more accurately, 10 million people. Izuku is shocked by this. Izuku is taken back, but that makes sense. Izuku has gone through probably over 3 to 4 million people already over his hundreds of years of living, and he realizes that he has hundreds of more to go through. So that's what happens. The Izuku Midoriya in this story is different. The Izuku Midoriya in this story isn't a young child that sought after wanting a quirk, but a young child that sought after be ridding his quirk. He loved helping people. He did, truly. It's hard to not when you see the people's faces when you grant them their wishes, but he doesn't like being stuck here. Rumor has it though that when this is all over, everything will go back to normal. His immortality will be stripped from him and he'll get his very own quirk. Is that reality? He's not so sure, but he can only hope for the best. So Izuku began his journey once again with, a purpose now. A purpose to grant as many wishes as possible. Until finally he came to the New Age heroes, these New Age students of UA. Izuku meets a third-year student by the name of Toshinori Yagi. He introduces himself and says that he's heard of the struggles of this young man. Toshinori looks at him confused and asks what his name is. Izuku Midoriya, it's a pleasure. Now, I can grant you 3 wishes. I am your personal genie for now. Toshinori asks what kind of wishes he could, ask for, and Izuku says that more or less everything. But it cannot be reality bending, it cannot be, affecting your quirk, but it can affect your body. There's some fine lines, I'll tell you, if you are within those lines. So Toshinori begins asking if he could get rid of someone's quirk. And Izuku says that that is definitely out of his power. That's not something he's even thought about even trying. And Toshinori apologizes, but Izuku tells him that it's okay. Questions are good to ask. And Toshinori continues on. He more or less wishes for unselfish things, which a lot of things that he wants on the bigger scale can't happen. Obviously, Toshinori would want something in the realm of world peace, but Izuku cannot do that. He's not that powerful. He is no god by any means. He's a mortal, but not a god. So he continues on. He asks for the good health of his sensei and some other minor things that Toshinori knows that the genie Izuku can, well, wish for. So that's exactly what happens. Izuku wishes for all of that, and he goes on with his life. But for some reason, this one person stood out to Izuku. He stood out to him. It seemed like he had a true heart, a heart of someone that was completely unselfish, and Izuku wanted to keep that in mind. He wanted to watch over him for a little bit, just because he was concerned. He was concerned that, well, this young child would, well, put himself in a position too far beyond his power. But that's kind of what Izuku eventually sees. He begins, well, granting wishes of many and many more people, and he watches on as this child begins fighting various villains and strong opponents, and he realizes why he wished for the safety of his master that was, well, fighting, who we know as All For One, actually survives this battle on the brink of death, but eventually recovers. Izuku realizes that this person is of greater importance than he even began to think. But it's not like he can help wish or give wishes to someone he's already given wishes to. So he's carried on with his life, and years pass, and Izuku has helped countless people, obviously choosing those who he deems to be worthy of it, but he does just that. Eventually seeing this person by the name of Toshinori Yagi turn into the symbol of peace we all know as All Might, and he's impressed. Izuku is thoroughly impressed by the growth of this person. Not only that, it's as if this person knew that there was a danger in terms of the people that were around him, and those wishes were made for a purpose. Izuku continued on with whatever he needs to do, whatever he needs to make sure that he can, well, live a normal life in the near future. And this continues on for a while, eventually coming across a young boy that is probably around the age of about 15, someone near the end of middle school, maybe even the beginning of high school. And he sees this boy walking through, well, under a bridge, and is attacked by a villain. This boy by the name of Katsuki Bakugo is attacked and took, well, hostage by this sludge villain. Izuku watches on in, well, hesitance. He can't necessarily walk up to the boy and ask if he wants a wish. It would be as if he was kind of breaking code. It would be forcing the kid to wish for him to be out of the situation, losing one of his wishes. So Izuku slightly bites his tongue and is about to just do something himself, but that's not needed. Someone comes crashing down from the sky with a wide smile on his face. I am here! All Might. He's come to the scene. Izuku slightly smiles and watches as All Might blows the villain away in an instant, saving the boy, and Izuku is oddly proud of this. It's like he's some proud father of some sorts, but he knows that this is probably one of the best people he's ever given wishes to. And the boy that was captured is going to be the next of those 3 wishes. He flies down to the boy after he's isolated and he hovers above him and introduces himself. My name is Izuku Midoriya. It's a pleasure, Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo steps back and is about to fight him, but realizes that the other person isn't even fighting back, or not even in a fighting stance. No reason to be afraid. I'm actually here to give you 3 wishes. Why would I want 3 wishes? And who are you? Izuku smiles and says that he's a genie of some sort, and that he's here to grant him any 3 wishes he so chooses. Bakugo asks if there's a catch, but Izuku shakes his head, says that there is no catch, it's just 3 wishes. Bakugo is confused, but asks for his first wish. Okay, I wish to be rich. Izuku snaps his fingers, and Bakugo's clothes change to a very stylish looking clothing, and his parents call him and say that they just won the lottery. Whoa, so you're actually a genie? Yes, I am. Like I said, I guess that was a good way of, well, you know, making it so you believe me. Okay. Can you affect my quirk? No, unfortunately I cannot. Anything quirk related I cannot really affect. Is there anything else you have in mind? Bakugo then continues with his other wish, and he asks for his best friend to come back to life. And Izuku puts his head down. I'm sorry, I can't do that either. That is out of my power. Think about it like I am no god. This is a quirk. I have my limitations. I'm truly sorry for your loss. Bakugo puts his head down and tears up a bit, but wipes it away quickly and looks at Izuku and says that he doesn't need anything else. He can use the wishes on himself. But Izuku shakes his head and says that that's not how that works. He can't. Fine. I don't know what to wish for then. There's nothing else I want. Everything else I can get into UA on my own. I don't need a wish to do that either. Izuku smiles and says that maybe he could wish for, well, something for another person. His family? Anybody else? Bakugo begins to think and thinks about the family of his best friend, and all he wants to do is wish for their, well, mourning process to be good, enough where they feel satisfied and at peace with them, well, the loss of their child, and that they'll never have to work a day in their life. So those are the 2 wishes he makes, and Izuku is able to make both of them. You know, Katsuki Bakugo, you are a good person. Bakugo scoffs and says to not tell this to anybody, but Izuku just smiles. I am a genie. You won't be seeing me around very much. But I'm glad to hear that you have a good heart, a heart of gold. Izuku leaves and Bakugo watches on. As, well, Izuku flies away. In this story, Bakugo was best friends with someone very similar to Izuku. Very similar to his old friend that would have been here with him right now. But he passed on. There cannot be 2 types of the same person in one world like this. It was conflicting. It was not right. So, when all the cards got placed on the floor and all the cards got flipped over, the death of, well, Katsuki Bakugo's best friend was imminent. Izuku Midoriya not being in Katsuki Bakugo's life, not in Bakugo's life at all, meant for the loss of a best friend that Bakugo, well, could never get back, even with a wish of a genie. But Izuku had to move on. He's seen a lot of these, but this one was different. This one seemed pure. It seemed like there was a connection that Izuku was missing, a connection with this young boy, a connection with Katsuki Bakugo. He wasn't sure why, but there was something there. But it didn't matter. Izuku left and continued on with all his genie work, giving people wishes and more wishes, eventually leading him to, well, another person. Another person that would definitely be interesting. With the Class 1A finally being instituted into UA, of course, there was one person that Izuku got guided to and decided to choose for his next, person to give 3 wishes to, like I said, and that was a boy by the name of Aoyama, a shining knight of a hero that supposedly he wanted to be. And one night, Izuku even approached him and asked him, what wishes does he seek? Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I'd like to ask you a couple questions. Aoyama is shocked by this, but really is confused more or less, and Izuku reveals that he can give him 3 wishes, and 3 wishes, that is it. He cannot give a quirk, he cannot affect quirks, and he can't do anything reality bending, but wish what he desires and he will try his best. Aoyama is shocked by this and begins asking if he could wish to be guaranteed to be a great hero. That is not necessarily something I can grant. Being a great hero comes with the personality. It'd be changing your being a lot. I'm not saying it would change you entirely, but changing someone's personality is something I personally don't want to do. Aoyama is confused and asks, how does he know? He knows something, doesn't he? I know everything. I'm no god, but I do know information. I know who you are. That's why I chose you. Now, would you like to make a wish? Aoyama stands in front of him and begins crying. And he wishes for the safety of himself and his family from All For One. Izuku snaps his fingers and says that has been granted. Aoyama's confused. How is that possible? Wait, what does he mean? It's been granted. And Izuku smiles. All For One no longer knows you even exist. Same thing with your family. Aoyama is shocked by this and thanks him. No problem, but you still have 2 more wishes. What would you like? I wish for all the best cheeses in the world. Izuku smiles and says that's an easy wish. He grants the wish and says that his family now has a factory full of all the cheeses in the world. Aoyama is shocked and says that he has one more wish, right? Yes, you have one more wish. What would that be? He then begins saying he wants everybody in his class to find success in whatever they want to do. Hero work or anything. Izuku smiles and says that's a very hard wish to grant, but I can definitely give it a shot. Izuku waves his hands and focuses a little bit, and there you go. There you go. Whatever they want to do, they will have or find success in, but you have to realize success is a broad idea. So I hope that whatever success they find, they can stem off of it and do even better. Izuku smiles once again and begins to leave, and Aoyama asks where he's going. I'm off to help anybody else. I hope you have an amazing life, Mr. Aoyama. Izuku leaves as if he was never there, but he'll soon realizes he'll be back in the same spot once again with another person. But he'll have to, grant wishes for somebody else first. Somebody that he necessarily wouldn't choose normally, but can see a glimpse of, hope within this one. He dives down into an area and walks right through a doorway without even being sensed. And there stand a man with hands all over his body, and he scoffs at when the person walks in, asking why he's here. Why the hell did you just come into my lair? This is the base of the League of Villains. Do you really want to die? Hello, Tomura Shigaraki. Or should I call you Tenko Shimura? Which one do you prefer? Shigaraki is furious and asks how he knows that name, and Izuku smiles saying that he knows everything. more or less about him. But that's not what he's here for. He's not here to lecture. He's not here for any of that. He's actually here for something else. And what is that? I'm here to give you 3 wishes. And that is a wrap, boys, for part 1 of What If Deku Had a Genie Quirk. First off, I want to say something very, very, very important. If y'all want to see this continue on for a while, let me know, for one, and also show tons of love for this What If. This is very different than what I normally make. This is very fan fiction-y. This is very, like, I could go either way. I can do whatever I really want with this series, and I could change the entirety of canon, like, more or less. So if you want to see this continue, make sure to show crazy support. This will be based off of, like, some sort of like goal. I think for the first one, we'll say I'll do the next episode when I get, let's do 300 likes. Should be easy enough for us to get. And then the next one will probably be 300 likes as well. We'll see what happens. But that's what I'm ideally going for. Make sure to hit the like button as hard as possible. Make sure to comment down below. The algorithm loves comments, loves likes, all that good stuff. And yeah, I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.